Hi yogis, my name is Bre with Breathe and Flow, and today I'm going to be doing an introduction to meditation and briefly explaining what it is and how you can integrate it into your daily practice. And then I'll also be doing about a 5-minute guided meditation included in the video. So if you're new to meditation or if you already have a daily practice, this will still be beneficial for you. So to briefly explain what meditation is, I have several friends often come to Flo and I asking how to get into it, what is it, why is it beneficial? So in the simplest form, meditation is simply becoming aware of your thoughts, separating yourself from the emotional side of attaching with all the chitter chatter that your mind is telling you. So when you first start meditating, at least for me, as soon as I started to quiet the mind, that's when the chatter exploded on me. So it took me quite some time, a couple months of daily practice. And what we recommend to people is just 5 minutes a day. And then after a few months, you start to not get so overwhelmed with the thoughts and how they're flooding in. And you're able to sort of detach yourself from the thought and recognize it as it floats through your mind. So that's kind of a brief explanation. There are many medical benefits as to why we do it. But one of the main reasons that Flo and I practice is to relieve stress and to become present. So it's the best way to pull yourself into the present moment. And in the present moment, you really aren't attached to a lot of emotions and thoughts and anger and jealousy. And those emotions sort of fade away. When you become present, the ego disappears. So that's our main motivation for practicing it. So to begin, like I said, we just recommend about 5 minutes a day. So the best thing you can do is just wake up in the morning, have a warm cup of water or hot water to cleanse the system, and then sit. So there's a couple different ways you can sit. Oftentimes we're told you have to sit in lotus pose, which is where you're sitting cross-legged and then you intertwine the legs like a pretzel. That's really not necessary to be able to reach that calm state of mind. And actually it's better if you're comfortable. So there's a couple different ways to sit. You can either just sit in a comfortable cross-legged position, or you can also sit in hero's pose, which is how I often sit. So I sit on a bolster or a couple of blocks, and then you just bring the shins underneath the thighs and the legs are straight. You can also just sit in a chair or sit on the edge of your bed. You really don't have to be crossing your legs. But the most important thing is that your knees are either the same height as the hips or lower. So you just don't want to be sitting with your knees up because that causes a curve in your spine. And ideally you want to have your spine straight or with its natural curve. So we'll begin in hero's pose for me. You can take a moment to maybe explore the different poses I just mentioned to find the best one for you. So when you're ready to begin, we're just going to sit tall, gently close down the eyes. And then we're going to flip our hands over. So the backs of our hands are going to touch down on our thighs. And then gently touch and connect the thumb with the pointer finger, the index finger, to complete a circle with the hands. And then take a deep breath in. Feel your rib cage expand in your chest as your spine lengthens and the crown of your head reaches up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're just going to lower the shoulders away from the ears, but still keep that length in the spine. Another deep breath in, fill up the lungs, almost as if you're filling up a glass of water. So start at the bottom, all the way to the top, and then exhale, empty the air out from the top down to the bottom. Take a couple more deep breaths like this. And just know that there's no expectations with this exercise. There's no end goal, there's no aha moment. where suddenly you're enlightened and the whole universe makes sense. That's not the point. The point is just to relax, have the mind be a little more present, a little more gentle. So now that you've had a few deep breaths, we're just going to relax the lungs and let our breath come back to its natural state. The lips are sealed. We're just breathing in and out through the nose. Now with the next inhale, you can almost imagine a white light coming in through the top of your head, filling up your chest with bright light. And on the exhale, you can imagine it coming back up your body and coming out your third eye, that point between your eyes on your forehead. So take a breath in, imagine the light pouring in through the top, filling your body with white light. And as you exhale, that light comes back out the forehead. So continue with that thought, with the white light pouring in and pouring out. And each time that white light comes into your body, you can imagine it starts to reach your extremities just a little more. So maybe the next inhale, that white light reaches your elbows and your knees, and then pours back out. And on this breath, it reaches your forearms and your shins, and it pours back out. This breath, it comes in, comes to the hands and the ankles, and pours back out. This last time as it comes in, goes all the way to the fingertips and the tips of the toes, fills yourself with white light as it pushes out any toxicity. And exhale, the light comes back out. You can just imagine your body feels lighter, more clean. Now you can continue with that visual of the light pouring in and out of you. And if thoughts start to come into your mind, which usually take about 1/3 of a second, just recognize that the thought is there. And then without chasing it down the rabbit hole, just let the thought go, almost as if you recognize it coming in on a puffy cloud and then exiting across the sky. Now, if you find that your mind really starts to wander and chase those thoughts, simply come back to the breath. Come back to that visualization of the white light coming in and out. I'm going to let you breathe on your own for just a minute. And just know that there's nowhere for you to go. There's nothing for you to do. You simply get to sit here and breathe. And now as we start to come back to this space, without actually moving anything in your body, just going to slowly start to blink your eyes open. You don't have to actually look at anything. You can just let all the colors of the room flood into your eyes. And let the colors around you be the thing that wakes you back up and welcomes you back. Palms together, hands at the heart. Take a deep breath in, fill up the lungs, feel your rib cage expand in the chest, and exhale the air out. Thank you so much for joining me in your practice. We'll see you soon. Namaste.